Hi everyone, CUET has started. 21st May was the first day where we had different examinations of CUET, and different slots and different rounds of this examination will go on till 31st of May. So those who appeared on the first day, that is 21st May, and those who will be appearing in the consequent examination for CUET, this analysis is going to help a lot. If you have already appeared and you had the same paper, it will help you tally the kind of questions, the difficulty level, and everything. And if you're still yet to give the paper, it will be a good indicator as to what to expect. So let's see what happened on the first day of CUET. The first slot, that the morning slot that was there on 21st of May, and we will be discussing two papers because in most of the combinations you will find that English language is the compulsory component, and also in most of the courses general test is a common component. So those who chose English as a subject and general test as a subject, this analysis is going to help a lot. So starting with the English, of course, as expected, the section, the English section, the time duration for the section was 45 minutes, and you had to do 40 questions in those 45 minutes. There were 50 questions, but you have to do only 40, not more than that. So you had the choice of leaving 10 questions, which is a great deal because you can only choose the questions where you are confident in. You have the option to leave the remaining questions if you are not so much confident. However, there was negative marking, so that was one thing that has to be taken into consideration. Each question carried 5 marks, one negative mark, 1 mark negative for wrong answers, and all the questions were multiple choice questions with four options each. This section was very easy. If you will compare it with any national level competitive examinations like say CLAT or IPM or any examination that has English component, where a higher level of vocabulary and grammar is required to even comprehend the passage. Relatively, you would have found this exam, this paper quite easy. That is taken into consideration that people from all background, people from all over country write the CUET. So the kind of questions, the selection of the questions is such that everybody has something or the other to attempt. Everybody can feel comfortable in attempting the answers. So that was this. There were around 5 to 6 moderately difficult questions, and others were quite easy for an average student. So overall, it was a very easy section as far as English is concerned. There were three reading comprehension passages, and each passage had 5 questions. So the three passages, one of the passages in the paper that happened in the first slot, one of the passage was a short. There was a story about a father and a daughter in a boat. Then there was a story. There was a passage about Premchand, the novelist. Then there was a passage regarding an entertaining speech. So the passages were about 250 words long, so not a lot of time was consumed in reading the passages and in comprehending the passage. And questions were very direct. Like, what was the real name of Prem Chand? So, if you have read the passage carefully, you would know. And what's the relationship between the two characters in the story, and which of the following are the features of entertaining speech? So, quite direct question. If you read the passage, you would have easily seen that it is directly given in the passage. You don't even have to apply your mind. You just read the passage, apply it in the. If you can comprehend it, it was quite doable. Each passage had a match the following question presented in a two column table, and also there were a couple of synonym questions like the words sodden or the word grateful. So again, so quite uh, familiar words. If you have been preparing for this examination, you would have come across these questions. You would have been well equipped to tackle such kind of questions. The remaining 35 questions were grammar and vocabulary. The pattern included match the following, FIB, sentence rearrangement, error identification, etc. So if you talk about the distribution of the questions, so there were foreign expression questions. Two questions were foreign expressions where they asked the meaning of Viva la France and Tour de France. Then there was a correct spelling question, at least one. So this phenomenology, this spelling of phenomenology etymology was asked, and then synonyms and antonyms were spurious. This was asked. 2 3 questions were from that. There were questions from match words with meaning. So one table was given. So the words were indolent, linguistic, gullible, oracle. These are the kind of words that were tested. Then the meanings of phrasal verbs. There were 3 4 questions on phrasal verbs. Then 2 questions from passive voice, 2 questions from direct indirect. One question, there was one question tag. So there was a that was a bit tough, not as easy as compared to other questions. Then there was FIV with preposition, adverb, article, etc. There were at least 5 6 questions. uh, 2 questions were parts of formal informal letter, so that is also there. Then there were questions on identifying adjectival clause, wrong usage of past perfect tense. So these two were also a bit tough. Then there were exclamatory to affirmative sentences, 2 questions from there, 2 3 questions from idioms, 4 5 questions to identify the correct sentence, and 2 3 questions to rearrange phrases. So word to form the correct sentence. So as you can see that of course in an English paper, these are the predictable type of questions. These are the kind of questions that you are expected to know. These are the kind of type of questions that you would have prepared for. So more or less quite easy, quite doable. So I'm pretty sure that you would have sailed through it easily. And similar is expected. Of course, they cannot drastically change the other slots. Other slots, whenever you will have your paper, it will be more or less similar. So similar thing is expected in the upcoming paper. So be prepared accordingly. If you have been following, just revise your synonyms, antonyms, revise the vocabulary, revise the tenses, the past perfect tense and the uses of the tenses. Look at the words of idioms and phrases. So these the and practice the identifying the correct sentences. So quite doable. You can easily sail through it whenever you have the examination, or if you have already appeared. This is how it was. Then the second thing that we're going to discuss is general test. Now, as you know, the general test has a lot of component. It has the component of logical reasoning. It has the component of quant. It has the component of general knowledge in current affairs. So this too was not difficult. In fact, easy. And this section was for 60 minutes. There were 60 questions, out of which 50 had to be answered. So just like in English English paper, this there also we had the choice of 10 questions. 10 questions you had to leave. So you can only attempt only those questions where you are confident in, and you had the choice to leave the remaining questions, the 10 questions. Total marks here also was 250, and there were about 25 questions on quantitative ability, 20 on general knowledge, and 15 on logical reasoning. And they were it was not that it was in a sequence. They appeared in a random jumbled form, so it was not topic wise. You could have any question in any order. So there is one question on LR, the next question could be quant, and the next question could be general knowledge. So it's not that first general knowledge, and so there was no sequence. uh, Quant seemed to be easy to moderate. There were predictable topics, the kind of topics that you have studied in your class 8, 9, 10. So there were questions from percentage, ratio, simple interest. There was also a question from Venn diagram, time and distance, the median of an algebraic expression, angle of elevation, area of circle, etc. So of course these are the kind of questions that require some practice, and if you are familiar with the basic arithmetic, basic mathematics, you would have easily done this. And these are the kind of questions that are expected. So please make note of these topics that you might be expecting in the paper when you will be appearing, if you have not appeared yet in this window that has been given for CUET. LR, the mostly the easy questions were there from coding, letter and number series, image series, syllogism, etc. So again, quite doable, not difficult. Anyone would have with the of course it required some time, was required, time management was required, because you had to complete this in 60 minutes. So if you could manage it efficiently, you would have easily sailed through it, quite doable. General knowledge could be considered as easy to moderate. So the maximum stress was on the static GK and less on current affairs. So there were many static GK based on India, based on some science concepts. So some of the topics covered were like very obvious topics that Indian Nobel Prize winners. So which Indians? No, this is one thing, that if you are preparing for a competitive examination, at least Indian Nobel Prize winners are very rare. So you would know these few names. Then their areas also, in which area they won that. So there were at least three, four questions, including match the following on this. Then scientists and their contribution, again similar concept, same as a Nobel winner. So the scientists like C.V. Raman, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Hargobind Singh Khurana, these were present in the question. Then there was a question regarding which of the following is a metal. So mercury was there. Then which of the following is the main component of natural gas? And the options were carbon, methane, butane, propane. So basic textbook level science textbook, whatever you have studied in your school, that was kind of tested here. Then match units of measurement with what they measure, match diseases with the deficiency. This is very common question that you would have come across in your school days, and anyway it keeps they keep repeating this question everywhere, that diabetes, goiter, beriberi, anemia, hemophilia, by the deficiency of which vitamin are these diseases caused. So these are very obvious, predictable, the kind of questions that were expected. No surprises here. Of course, if anyone is serious about their preparation in a national level competitive examination, these are the questions that a person is expected to know. Then there were Indian medal winners in Tokyo Olympics. Of course, these are very major things that if you are studying general knowledge, these are the basic requirements that you have to know. Then matching authors with their books. So all were Indian authors like Mahatma Gandhi, APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Shashi Tharoor, etc. So again, easy to moderate. Easy to moderate is the range we are putting it. However, it can be considered an easy only, because we tell you to go through at least the concepts of who won Nobel Prize, at least which Indian won Nobel Prize, which uh, Indian achieved something in Olympics. So Olympics, Nobel, these are some international significance, and if an Indian has some contribution to it, that is all over the news, that repeatedly comes before you. So and if the options are given, if you are provided with the four options, that it becomes all the more easy to choose the correct option and arrive at the right answer. So that was pretty much about the English and general test. Hope if you have attempted it already, hope these were the things that you tackled well. And if you are yet to write your examination, hope you do well, and expect similar kind of questions. Prepare accordingly, and may you get the college of your choice, may you get the course of your choice among the plethora of options that the CUET examination has given you. And the great thing is that it is the common platform for all of you. So irrespective of your performance in your class 12th, 10th and 12th, you can get into the campus of your choice by writing this CUET. So all the best. See you in the next session with more analysis. I'll try to come up with some domain specific analysis for CUET as in when we get more papers. So all the best. Goodbye.